Welcome to this week's Real Rob Report. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Dawkins, newly retired man. How does it feel being on the other side of the football now, you know, as far as on the other side of the business as a spectator?
I mean, it feels great being able to work out now with a different mindset from a different place, and also being able to spend more time with my family. Man, it's a great blessing to be able to play that long and walk away like I've walked away, and feel still as good as I do.
Why are you still working out, man? I mean, I know we joke around about it. You say you're just trying to look good, you know what I mean? But you're lifting 335 pounds when you lift. Why are you still out here lifting weights?
Man, that's a part of me. I mean, that's never going to leave. I'm always, when I come in here, I can say to them, just like you go to play basketball, you always say, I'm just going to shoot jump shots. But when you get in the game and it start getting heated, you're going to start taking that thing to the cup, seeing if you can boom on somebody. So for me, it's just inside of me to work hard. And also with the youngsters looking at me, I want to make sure that they understand, hey man, this is what you have to do in order to reach the heights you want to get to.
All right, cool. Well, man, you've been in here talking, and obviously it's a new thing on player safety as far as mandating knee and thigh pads. First of all, do you think those little pads will actually prevent injuries?
No, the only thing that the thigh pad will protect is for the precise hit on a thigh, as far as a deep thigh bruise, but you can't protect the whole thigh from that. So, and the knee pad does not do anything unless you fall on your knee. It's not going to stop anybody. If you get hit directly on that knee and that knee bends back to the side or either way, there's nothing that knee pad is going to do. So for me, I won't say this is an exercise of futility, but at the end of the day, I think that's something that they're just trying to do what they think is in the best interest of staying away from lawsuits, in my opinion.
Well, I've been very vocal on my show about not Governor, but Roger Goodell and how he's handled player safety. And I think he's done a pretty good job trying to be proactive in handling player safety. They're trying to do away with Toradol, which if I can only guess that you've probably taken it a few times in your career, as we all have. How do you rate Roger and what he's doing as far as protecting the players?
I think in certain aspects of it, he's doing a good job of it. What he's doing is the same thing as we're trying to do in a general, is bring an awareness to things that we need to think about and not just pushing things under the table. Yeah. Whether it be concussions, whether it be player safety in general. I know you're talking about the thigh pads and knee pads. I said earlier it might be a little exercise of futility, but at the end of the day, you want to talk about those things to make sure that it's a conversation being had in the locker rooms, with the coaches, with the GMs, with everybody. So I think he's doing a good job in that respect. I think on other things, is sometimes he does things and goes a little too far with things, and that's my only, I think, gripe that I have with him.
A thing that's been in the news is his power, his control, and I'm a player rep. You've done some time at the negotiating table and seeing what went on with the lockout. A lot of things I get is guys telling me, Mike, man, did we sign a bad deal? This, that, and the third. Man, could you just speak, have a few words, to some of the guys in the locker rooms around the league about kind of explain, how we didn't sign a bad deal, how it was good, and what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I believe we signed a great deal. The things that we're able to do and get out of that deal is something that you don't understand it now. Some guys really probably won't understand it now, but the fact of when I came into the National Football Leagues, for us to do six days of training camp, padded practices, and you're banging each practice for 6 weeks to where it is now, that we have the different stages in mini camps and things you can't do, and even in mini camps and even during the season of not being able to bang every day, you'll feel the benefits of those things as you continue to play in this football league. So I know that there's a lot of things as far as commissioner discipline that a lot of guys are upset about, and I understand that. Sometimes in negotiations, though, you can't always get what you want. I mean, we would love to have everything our way, but that's not the way that this world exists, let alone being in negotiations trying to get these things done. So there are some things that obviously we wish we could have been able to get out of the deal, but we feel very strongly about those things and player safety that we got out of this deal. Not just player safety, the monetary things they're going to gain over time, not just for guys who are playing, but for the retired guys. Some of the things we're able to do for the guys who are retired now. There's a lot of benefits that came out of this deal.
And I know I'm not putting words in your mouth, but this is coming from me. People who complain about Goodell's power a lot of the times, you know, stay out of trouble. You don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? On another note, the bounty thing has been out there in the open. You know, there's been many conversations about that. You being on the defensive side of the ball, you've heard, you know, pregame speeches. We all have. It's locker room culture to say certain things that maybe you can't say in the media. What's your thoughts on, you know, that whole role, and are the suspensions too much in your eyes?
Well, as far as the bounty thing is concerned, until we truly understand all the things that they have in this bounty discussion and everything is laid out for us to see what they have and what they do not have, it's kind of hard for me to truly say that this was a bounty, so to speak, that they're saying that, hey, man, you go after his left Achilles, then you're going to get paid this amount of money. If that's the case, there's no room in the game for that, period. There is none. If you're talking about specific body parts from the guy, you don't do that. I don't believe in that. As far as were the suspensions fair? Once again, we don't know the full details of it, but I will say this: if anybody tells me that my coaches and my GMs and the owners are held to a higher standard than the players, how can you get fined the same amount? How can you get let off the same amount of time? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. For any player to get the same amount of time as your coach, who, in my gather the information that I gathered, said that, you know what, these coaches knew that we were researching this. They knew that we had this information down, and we told them to stop doing it. They told us in our face that we were going to stop doing it, and they did not. Did the players have that chance to do that? Did you come to the players and say, listen, we know that's what you guys are doing. We need you to stop doing this, because if you do not, these are going to be the ramifications of that. If you did that and they continue to do it, I don't have a problem with it. But if you did not do those things, you didn't give me a chance to say, you know what, okay, now we need to back off what we're doing. You see what I'm saying? Then, okay, everybody gets the same punishment. But if that's not the case, then how can you find these two? How can you take a season away from Vilma and 8 games away from, I forget, Fajita. How can you take these games away from these guys and they didn't get that same exact timetable or ability to correct the mistake that they made if you were giving them that chance? Because, like I said, you gave the coaches that chance. You didn't give the players that chance. And I have a problem with that.
Switching gears a little bit, you know, we can't have a show. Nobody can have a show without talking about a little Tebow talk. You know, you spent some time with him out in Denver. How will he impact the Jets' offense, and how will he impact that team?
Well, I think once he gets on the football field, in that whatever package they're going to use him in, Tim is a guy that's going to go, he's going to go 100%. Or what you ask him to do, and even above that. And if they're asking him to do that in that Wildcat formation, I believe that they'll have success in that thing. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be something that's going to be to the day when they first put it out and nobody had an answer for it. No, because nobody had an answer for it. Teams have answers for that thing now, but to have a guy that can do what he can do in that formation, they're going to have some success out of that formation. As far as what it's going to do to the locker room, listen, when you win, it's the biggest deodorant. We know that. It's the biggest deodorant. It's going to cover up a lot of things, and guys are going to believe in what they're doing. If they're not, then there's going to be some questions asked, not just by the teammates, but by the fans. But as far as Tim as a person, as far as him as a hard worker, listen, you're going to get what you're going to get from him. He's going to go out and give you everything that he has. He's going to demonstrate what he would like his teammates to do, not by so much words, but by what he's going to do, whether it be trying to run over a lineman, running over a DB, running over a linebacker. He's going to do those things.
I've said it publicly myself. They talked about putting him at personal protector on punt. He's going to have to block a little bit. He's picked up 10 pounds. In my opinion, his days at quarterback are numbered. That's kind of the path I took when I came into the league. They said, oh, we're going to put you at personal protector, but you will be one of the quarterbacks and things like that. Do you think his days at quarterback are numbered?
Well, you're speaking from experience. I don't have that experience, and I don't know. You know, but I will tell you that I've never heard of you asking a quarterback to gain that weight to be a personal protector if you're planning on playing him at quarterback. Because you know, just like I know, when you have someone that says that's your quarterback, you don't want him to be touched, let alone picking up blocks. So in their eyes, they're seeing one thing one way. And I'm telling you, in his eyes, he's saying, okay, I'm going to do this for the time being, and when I get my opportunity, I'm going to show them what I can do. But and somewhere in between those two thoughts is the truth somewhere, and we'll find out.
Obviously, the top 100 players have been on TV and things like that. Actually, we have Darrell here, and he was revealed the other night. Do you think quarterbacks being 1 and 2? Do you think maybe another position could be there? Because obviously they say quarterbacks have one of the hardest positions on the field, but athletically they don't. In your opinion, what type of athlete should be the #1 player in the league?
Well, I think if you're talking about the general thought of football, then your quarterback is always be up there, period. I mean, he's going to always be there. If you're asking me, because I'm on the defensive side of the ball, and I know what those guys outside have to do, I'm talking about the cornerback position, what they have to do going against those receivers that they go up against. These guys, come on, Megatron, really? Seriously? This dude, how big is he? 6'4", 240 pounds, still running a 4.2 or something like that. To deal with those type of guys on a consistent basis and have a lot of success in the process of doing it. And then you have a guy that, Revis Island, so if you come out there, the likelihood of you catching the ball out there is not that high. When you have those guys playing their game from going backwards the majority of the game and being able to have the success that they have, to me, those individuals need to have the circle around them a lot as far as credibility is concerned.
What's next for you? You retired. You had a great, in my opinion, Hall of Fame career. What's next? Could you just give your fans and fans of football, fans of yourself, kind of a outlook of what you have next on the agenda?
Well, for me, I always tell you guys, and I mean this, I'm a blessed man of God to have done what I've done, and I do everything from a prayerful state of mind. I've been preparing for this, especially for the guys that are still playing the game. I have been preparing for this day for many a year, not just this past off season. I've been praying for this thing for at least 3 to 4 years out, for God to preparing my heart for what he would have me to do going forward. So then when I stepped away from this game, I have a peace about it, and I have a joy and an excitement about those things that he had been telling me along the way that he would have me to do. One of them will be analyst work. If he blesses me to be on somebody's network, to be able to share what I've learned over the years playing this game, I'll do those things. The other things are coaching. I'll coach my son. He's in high school now, his secondary. And motivational speaking engagements, spiritual speaking engagements. Those are the things that the Lord put on my heart to be able to share the things that I've gone through in my walk with him, and just from a spiritual and from a sports platform, to be able to encourage people, because there's something inside of me that wants to always reach past the plateaus that people have set for me. People have set plateaus for me. See, I can only reach this amount of success, that I'll only go this high because of my size, because of my background, because of where I came from. No, I want to reach past those things. So there was always something inside of me that says, you know what, you can set a plateau for me, but that will never define me. I will always reach past that because it's inside of me to do that. So those are the type of things that, Lord's willing, now he'll give me the platform to be able to speak about those things going forward. And those just a couple of them. There's some other things that I don't want to bring out. Yeah. I don't want to share some of my thoughts, but there's a couple of things that I'm pretty passionate about doing that I think is going to bless a lot of people.
Anybody that may want to get in contact with somebody to be able to get you to speak at an engagement, do you have a contact or a Twitter or some type of person that you would advise people to go to?
I'm with CAA Sports.
CAA Sports.
CAA Sports.
Go ahead. Well, I like thank you, Brian, for coming on the show, man. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're definitely a role model, not only for players in the game, but for people all around the country and all around the world who definitely look at this sport and love this sport. I appreciate you coming on today.
Appreciate you having me, brother. I want my shirt too, man.
Yeah.
I want my shirt.
I got you, baby. Real Rob Report. We out of here.